blue speck.
What is
I
it?
don't think Philadelphia's gone red in a bajillion years, but Pennsylvania is a red state.
Okay. All right, man.
Yeah.
All right. What about? Well, you like Trump though, right? You voted for Trump.
Love him. He's a badass. Voted for him in 2016. This time I didn't want to wait for the voting line. So
That's
it
okay. You
wouldn't
would
have
have just
mattered anyway
no.
because again we're a blue speck and that's just how it's gonna be. My vote matters very little to the Pennsylvania whatever ballots.
Well, also like you're just voting for more Operation Warp Speed and fucking like more
Eh,
vaccines, more lockdowns. Like he's the guy. He did it. Sorry, Q. Sorry,
yeah.
Q.
Yeah, but, I think we have a trans person in our like government in the PA government. I'm not sure who, but I
Are
think we got a
they?
tranny up in
Are they in
there.
charge of the health of the nation? I'm sorry, I gotta unplug this thing. This is so unprofessional. Oh my god, I can't believe myself. Sorry, man. I left my little heater running over there, and it was making noise.
Yeah,
Are
it's
they
fine. I'm not mad anymore.
good? I don't mind having transgenders in power. I just get concerned when they're like in charge of health.
It
You
is
know
the
what I mean?
health director.
Oh, it is every time though, isn't it? And it's like the most obvious one.
Let's see how ugly she is.
Is that offensive?
Yikes!
Because it's just
Oh man! Oh no! Oh, Mitch, I'm sending you a picture.
all right.
This is the
Let's
health
see it.
director of Pennsylvania. People listening, Google along and look up a picture of PA transgender health. What is her name? Biden picks the first transgender person for Senate. This is a disgusting looking person.
Oh, this is the one. Yeah, yeah,
Lisa
yeah. I know
Levine.
all about this one. This is the one.
Yeah.
Rand
Ugh,
Paul was going after her
gross.
in the Senate and was like, "Do you think that children can cut off their genitals?" And this person was just like, "I
Why
believe
not?
in fairness for everybody. Everybody should be able to cut their dicks off." Like that's a big mess.
Everybody should be able to cut their child's dick off without their permission.
Did you know we have a father in jail in Vancouver for misgendering
Yes.
his I think 14-year-old daughter?
Yes. Which
It's a
is
mess.
hilarious. Yeah.
That's where you guys are heading there next, man. You just got your Trudeau.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like people like kids younger kids are going to get wise to this sort of shit because everybody's already so like suspicious of the powers that be and the younger generation is suspicious of their own suspicion even and
Yeah.
then the powers that be as well. So I think they're going to start getting wise to this. I think there may be a happy ending, honestly.
Well, yeah, it's funny because nobody wants to be an asshole. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be an unaccepting asshole. But then I don't know, like you don't have to be like the bigoted transphobe to be like, I don't think that this is the pinnacle of health. You've got like a morbidly obese transgender person in charge. Like I don't know, like I'm not saying that like they can do whatever they want. I just don't know if they should be in charge of my health or my family's health. Is that bad? Like, am I gonna get canceled for saying that or what?
They look terrible. They look healthy. Yeah, they've got this potato sack body and chin. Oh, the chin is disgusting. I don't know what you're eating to get a chin like that, but I know that it's not good.
It's
Whatever it
estrogen.
is.
I think it's like soy and estrogen. I'm just realizing I better let the people know because a lot of my fans don't listen to the Jack's show. Corona. I better just give a quick rundown, which is that so if anybody doesn't know, I'm a co-host with my friend Karen1776 here on the Jack Klassen show. And Karen is probably, at first she was just a diversity hire for the the show, but
That's true.
you've ended up becoming like a staple. You know what I mean? Like you're on there more, like way more than I am, and you've made the show like with your bumpers and you also have your own show,
Yep.
the Hot Wife Music. It's been killing it.
I'm a girl boss.
Yeah, absolutely. How did it
Scholar.
happen? How did Jack find you? Because he sent me a picture of you. I remember before you were ever on the show, and you had some like like really racist T-shirt on.
Oh yeah, I have some vintage Ku Klux Klan T-shirts that I can show off. Maybe I'll wear them on the live show today. They're pretty
Preferably
wild.
not my show.
Nah, yeah. I didn't think of
but
that in time.
but what happened? How did Jack find you, or did you find Jack? Like what happened?
We have a mutual friend who you met, Emmy, the psychic.
Oh yeah. That's Jack's friend too.
Mitch came on my show and met my friend who is a psychic who found some things out, some not so favorable things out about Mitch. You have to look through the show to find that. But that was our mutual friend, and we started talking on Facebook. I think I friended him, and then at one point he sent me. Have you ever heard the SpongeBob SquarePants bumper
Oh
that he
yeah.
played?
That one,
I
Reddit
thought,
hates that one.
oh man, I thought that was the funniest thing that I had ever heard. I was like, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so we became friends and we were talking a lot, and he would talk about the show, and I was like, I want to come on eventually. I got the courage finally. But that's true. I didn't want to, whatever. I got on the show, and then eventually I started doing sound effects. He made me a co-host. I'm basically the secretary of the show now. And yeah, he can't do it without me. So
Yeah. Well, it's been
it's
pretty
great.
wild watching you kind of like work your way into it. It seems like a perfect fit. Like, do you have a freaking job? Like, what do you what do you do with
I'm
yourself?
unemployed. I am a
Nice.
college student. I go to school for psychology.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
chick major.
I'm
Yeah. Did you
shocked.
not know that?
No.
Yeah, full time.
That's amazing. I thought you just ran like scams on the internet or something. Like,
Nope, not
that's
anymore.
that's insane. Why don't you go for
Yep.
something useful like a gender studies degree or something?
Well, I mean, I I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know. Let's make your show interesting. I have thought about using my degree to be a gender therapist for trans people
Really?
because of the issue of people getting these uh transitioning so young and how fucked up that is. I've
Hmm.
thought about using my degree for that, which is hilarious, but
It
I
is.
mean that no one else has that sort of approach, which is bad because people are castrating themselves and will probably end up committing suicide. It's terrible. So I may have to take some gender studies courses, which I've sort of
Wow.
been coming to terms with. Yeah, which will be hilarious. That'll
Mhm.
be the funniest thing. Oh, I don't know how
Well,
I'll get.
yeah, I've wondered because like you and Jack, I mean, you guys are harder like as far as jokes, right? Because it is shock jock radio. We're just trying to like hurt people's feelings and make fun of everything. But you and Jack go real hard at transgender people, like big time, man. And but you have mentioned, I hope you don't mind me saying this on my show. Like you
Whatever.
used to date a trans person, right?
Yeah. Ew.
And I've heard you say some of the most god awful, horrible, mean
I
things.
hate that person. I don't want to call him a dick. I hate that person. I'll talk shit about them on any show or
All right.
anything. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Well, I guess it's less about the specifics of that person. It's more just like what are your actual views on transgenders, because I want to like break away from the shock jock and figure out like what you actually think without getting my YouTube channel pulled.
Oh, that might be hard, Mitch Murphy, because this is gonna be, if anybody finds this, I'm just kidding. I don't like them. I don't like
Okay.
trans people. I don't think it's
Damn.
real.
Okay.
I think that, you should be allowed to do it if you're an adult. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that you can be a man trapped in a woman's body. God, I hope my roommates don't hear me. Um, I think there are things that would cause a person to feel that way, and if they're an adult, they can do that.
Sure.
But if you're a child, and if you're an adult and that's not the right choice, you shouldn't have someone who is just telling you that's what you have to do. This is who you are. And I
Right.
think that, yeah, if I were to do that, I would encourage people to do it who I thought it would make them happier. But I wouldn't consider a trans woman to be a woman. It's a completely different thing. A trans woman is a man who has transitioned to look like a woman. It's just different.
Okay,
I mean,
but
objectively.
but what if somebody's like relatively polite and they ask you, like, they obviously look like a man, but they say, I want you to, I'm a she her. Like, do you use their pronouns, or are you
No.
rude?
I
R-
mean, to be nice to people, I'll do it. I don't want to push people's buttons and argue. That's just not worth my time. But it is offensive to me, especially when it's a man who does nothing to look like a woman, seems to be a woman, and as a woman, I find that very offensive.
Okay. All right.
What if I was
All
just
right.
like, "I'm black"? I say that all the time, but I know it's not true.
Sure.
I mean,
All
even though
right.
it is.
But what about like that transgender fella that we had on Jack's show? He came on my show too. Who, that dude's like totally based, great. Like from his account, he had to do it. You know what I mean? Like, do you have anything against that guy?
Nothing against anyone who isn't, you know,
A pain in the ass.
who's not giving everybody shit and trying to push their beliefs on everybody else.
Right.
People who are just like, I'm happier the way I am, and who aren't uber sensitive and like insane. Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, he may detransition later. People who I've been completely convinced of, and that's what's because I've been exposed and I've been around trans people since I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I was immersed in the queer uh queer community in my city at a very, very young age. And this is how I feel now. Um, and I felt this way for a long time, even before I had a breakup with a trans person. Thank you very much. Um, what was I talking about?
You were immersed in the. I don't know what this means, but you said you were immersed in the queer community in
Yeah,
Philadelphia growing up.
I hung out with a lot of older trannies and in a cool punk warehouse,
What?
and yeah.
How? What? How did that? How? What led
I
you
was trying
into
to make
that?
a point though, Mitch. What was I talking about before? Please, please, please,
Okay,
please,
you were
please.
saying that if people are about detransitioning, you were saying something
Oh
about
yeah,
how
people. So I've been around people who are completely convincing, and they've detransitioned. So maybe he's happy now. That's fine, and he may choose to detransition later. And he's an adult, and he's got to deal with that if he decides to. And he may never do it, and he may. It's completely unpredictable.
right,
People should be able to do that more now. But it is, I mean, then you really are a woman trapped in a man's body. Literally. If you transition and it's not who you want to be.
right. I never
Yeah.
thought of it that way. That's a dark thought.
Yeah. Well, I'm a dark ass ninja.
Well, okay, because it's interesting because like you're what some of the stuff you're saying is would be considered bigoted by a lot of people, right? But it's Corona. It's interesting hearing it from your perspective because you kind of went in, you got to know this scene and like these groups and stuff like that, and came out with this perspective. The hoodie isn't edible. Someone's making fun of me for chewing on my string.
Yeah,
Um,
you're always doing weird stuff, Mitch.
I,
I've caught him playing with his spit on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
that's not
Ah,
true.
it is true. It is true.
Okay, well sometimes
Jack
we're
noticed it too.
sometimes we're on the radio at like 1 in the morning after I get off work. I'm not all there. All right, take it easy. But to me, it's like
Just
I
saying.
find I find it hard to tell you that you're wrong. You know what I mean? I find it hard to tell you like, oh, you shouldn't feel like that, blah blah blah, because it just is your opinion. But you came out of it with genuine thought criminal beliefs. So it's a very
I'm a young Ann Coulter over here.
no, you're a lot
The
edgier than
bet.
Ed Coulter.
Nah.
um, but what, like, do you experience pushback? Because you're very abrasive, Karen. I don't know if you've noticed that about yourself. Like, are you like in your day to day life? Are you similar to how you are like when we talk or when you're on the show, or are you a lot more reserved?
I definitely am more reserved because there are definitely a lot more consequences for being aggressive. I can just sort of that's why I love doing the show so much because I can just
Let
do
loose.
that. Yeah. But yeah, I do a lot of, as my people say, kvetching.
What's that?
Bitching,
Oh,
complaining,
all right, all right.
talking shit. And I do get really pissed off and angry. Yeah, but not as directly. So yeah, I have to contain myself a lot of the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In a
I
perfect
hope
world.
I hope you come visit Canada one day because I'd like to meet you because I don't know, you're very interesting. I don't know if everybody in Philadelphia is like you or if you're one of a kind. It's hard to like get a
Oh,
read.
I'm one of a kind. I'm one of
Because
So it doesn't
like
matter where I'm from. People here are best people in the world, but that regardless.
all right. Because like being in a blue spec, like I don't know, the way you talk, the way you think, do you generally get accepted or do people hate you?
Well, Philly is a blue speck, but Port Richmond and South Philly are red specks. So there are people.
Okay.
There are people like-minded people here in Philly. Not that I'm some sort of I don't go to freedom rallies all the time and stuff like that. But I
Mhm.
do identify more with right-leaning people, obviously. And and maggers are
Yeah.
dope, dude. Yeah, shout out to JR's place. Hit
All
it up.
right.
Where Proud Boys go.
All right. All right. Because
Great.
well,
It is a great bar.
all right, all right, I believe you. Because it's interesting down there because the culture war is so tied to those parties. Like to say red or blue means a lot more than it does to say liberal or conservative up here. You know what I mean? Like our conservatives are, pussies. They're huge pussies. They're just as big of pussies as the liberals. So there's not really any real cultural difference. But down there, they've done a good job where like if you believe in the First and Second Amendment, then you're red, right? You're like, oh, I'm a Republican, but it's like tied to your personality.
Yeah, I mean all of it's like that, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are gonna do, man. Honestly, like watching everybody scream at each other over Mr. Potato Head while Joe Biden bombs Syria. I'm just like, man, you guys are fucked down there, like for real. You guys
Yeah.
have no
Me,
hope.
my mom is like, she's COVID crazy. She's like super liberal. It doesn't make you a bad person. She's a wonderful person. I love her.
Mhm.
But she was even talking shit on the WAP performance. We were talking about WAP, and I even told her, "Did you hear Tuck? Did you watch the Tucker episode where he was talking about that? You know what I'm talking
No.
about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't see
Her
Tucker.
performance at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Uh, he went, no more Dumbo. It's too filthy."
Mhm.
Yeah, even my mother's like that was like, oh my god, like this is disgusting. Like this. Oh no, it's female empowerment, Mitch. People like me should look up to Cardi B and
Well, but
Megan Thee
nobody's
Stallion.
my problem with it is that nobody's saying that. You know what I mean? That's like what's implied by these like, grabblers that are in charge of all these industries and stuff, but nobody's actually saying that. It's like they put it out there with this like unspoken assumption, and then the right wing like craps their pants, and then like some people on the left wing are like, "Oh, what are you guys freaking out about?" Blah, blah, blah. And it's just this. I think it's all just a distraction to like so that nobody figures out the central bank, nobody figures out the military industrial complex. I think they just do all this shit on purpose, like Pelosi ripping up Trump's speech. I think it's all theater just to keep everyone distracted.
I think everyone's just an idiot and they're incompetent and they maybe want to try to do this stuff, but they fuck it up always and something else happens and it's just a mess. That's what I think
Yeah.
it is.
You're probably right, man. You probably
Yeah.
are. Yeah. You're probably right.
These people are idiots and they're killing people. And
Right.
it sucks. And America has become a fucking joke, which is the worst
Yeah.
because I love America and I'm a patriot and America rocks and America's number one. Suck it, Canada.
Ooh.
But it's a joke. This it's pathetic. What are we gonna do? Nothing.
Yep.
Watch it
I don't
burn,
know, man.
baby.
Well, speaking of Watch It Burn, what happened with BLM? Because you told me like a
It
little
was
bit of what you
hilarious.
did during those riots. I'm like, this is actually the main reason I wanted to get you on the show because I'm dying to hear about what you did and what happened.
Got racks of cigarettes. I looted so many Camel cigarettes.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, bitch. I was just
Did you
waiting for my
really?
Uber, and the window
No.
was
You're
yes.
playing. No,
I was
you didn't.
wasted drunk because I was walking around drinking beer and liquor
Karen,
all day.
really?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it was
I'm thinking
hilarious.
I
They
thought you
broke
were,
my bike. The protesters broke my bike
oh,
because they were
better
being
loot
too
Target.
idiots.
Hey, get back to the protesters. I can't believe you.
It was
I
fun.
thought I thought you were like this patriot standing outside of Target with your like AR-15 with a "Don't Tread on Me"
I did.
flag blowing in the wind.
The next day I defended the target. But listen, I went there to have a good time. And you know what looting did? It fucking made people think that the movement was a joke. And it was. And why not?
So
Why
you went
not?
in, you were like an
It's a
agent
part of history.
provocateur, is what you're
I'm in
saying.
a no, not at all. I was just going with the flow, man. That's just what was
Man.
happening. I wasn't cracking windows or doing anything. You know what? It was like I live in a city, and when the in Philly has a reputation, you see, as
Mhm.
like a wild place, crazy place, and it is true. When the riots started happening, everybody was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be crazy here," and it was. And so I knew it was gonna be that way. There was no way I was going to miss out on experiencing that.
I'm so disappointed in
No
you,
way.
Karen. You know that?
Why?
I'm disappointed in you.
You know what? It
'Cause
was awesome. There was the Nike store that people had looted. All these people were going in the Nike store, just looting, 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 looting. And I just went in. I didn't, because there was you couldn't find any shoes. It was just
Mhm.
flat. It was flat in boxes, like everywhere, just people
Whoa.
rushing around. I mean, it was a trip, man. It was a trip.
Must have been.
It was
So
just
how did
awesome to go in the stores while they were all destroyed and like watch. There's people burning cop cars and everyone's getting into fights and there's people standing on top of burning cop cars.
that is
It was insane.
nuts. So how
Yeah.
does it start? Is it like one guy that just walks out of an MK Ultra session, throws a rock through a window, and then everyone else goes, or what
Yes.
happens?
I don't know. They just started marching and they marched up to the police and they were arguing with the police and then that's how it starts. They walk up to big like riot police.
Mm-hmm. What if the
That's it.
police weren't there? Would they just start smashing?
I don't know. Probably these people are animals.
Oh, and like, okay, I've got a lot of questions. I'm fascinated because
They're
that's not
insane.
what I thought. I didn't know you did any looting. I hope
Ah,
that's
hell yeah.
insane.
I
Okay.
was just walking around drinking and going into these places, just being like, whoa, and just watching people. I was taking videos. It was insane. There's no way I was gonna miss out on that. And then it went on for days. After that, I
Yeah,
was
so
hiding out in South Philly. Thank God. Thank God. God bless the Italians. God bless the Irish of South Philly. Defend South Philadelphia, baby.
so
South
is
Philly, stand up.
all right, all right. So is there like a spot? Is it like you knew where to go, or is it the whole city on fire? Like what's the process with all that?
Well, I mean, they were just marching to City Hall from the art museum.
Oh, and that was
That's like
just
where
like
everybody
known.
marches for everything. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
you
And
go
so
to City
you
Hall.
were you there for the peaceful part too?
Me and my friend John, friend of the show.
I know. Yeah, John.
Yeah,
Yep. DUI John.
we're always hanging out. We walked with the people walking. We were like, whoa, and people were selling George Floyd T-shirts. I really wanted to uh get one, and I really regret not getting the bootleg George Floyd T-shirts. Whoa! I
Okay.
mean, it's all just having a part of history, man. It was insane. I went up. I saw them arguing with the police. My bike got destroyed. I went to the bike shop. I got a margarita because they were doing the takeout margaritas. I
Okay.
was drinking a margarita. We got some beers. We went back to protest, and there were cop cars on fire.
Whoa. And so you
Yeah,
just stuck around, kept drinking.
yeah. It was a
Is it
trip. It
all
was
what?
hilarious.
Is it all trust fund white kids or is there black
A
people?
lot. It was both, and the funniest thing is like the black people like they hated all the other people there, and they would like push them down to like get stuff.
Nice. Because
Yeah,
yeah, my impression, and this is just like a Canadian on the internet, is that there's like my
they
impression
were
is that
looting
there's
too.
well, okay, because my impression is like the black people are peacefully protesting and they
No,
think the cops are racist and they want to stop it, and then it's the white kids doing all the looting. Is
no.
that what's going on?
Yeah,
What's
it's the
happening?
white kids who are starting shit. And from that's what I saw. It's a I mean, that's not true. That's not true.
It's
But
a bit of everybody.
it's a bit of everybody. It was a
Okay.
mix. I'll say it was a mix.
Interesting. Interesting. Because I guess what I'm really hoping to figure out too is like what starts it. Because that's my biggest fear. Like with the numbers that we're starting to get up in Canada, like I wonder what starts it. Because I want to do everything I can to make sure. Because we're making history up here, and no cop cars are on fire. You know what I mean? And nobody's like stealing Nikes, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to end up like you guys. Like because I'm curious if
Yeah,
it is just
yeah.
like if it does it take just one guy to smash a window, or do you think everybody there was just planning on it anyway?
Yeah, I think it was just like the first protest got out of hand, and then every city was just prepared for a riot after the first one.
Right. Did you feel safe?
No, I was terrified. I was
Yeah, I
hiding out
bet.
inside. Oh no, the first day I was like, okay, I can handle myself. But then at nighttime, I got scared for sure. And I almost, yeah, yeah. But for the other few days, I lived in a really, 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 really bad neighborhood in Philadelphia during. And around my neighborhood, people were blowing up ATMs. And
Whoa.
one guy killed himself by blowing up an ATM 2 blocks away from my house.
Damn, dude.
Um, yeah,
Are they using
people
tannerite
were
or what are they how do they blow them up?
dynamite.
Damn. Philly's badass, man.
Yeah, baby. But yeah, I was insane. I was hiding out of my friend's house in South Philly for days, just staying there, like terrified. We were all watching Sky Fox and listening to the police scanners, and just like like being really paranoid and
Yeah.
insane. Ugh,
Well, especially like with all the guns too, right? I mean, that's a whole nother level when
yeah,
more than half the population's strapped and the city's on fire. That must be scary, especially for a woman. You know what I mean?
yeah,
God, what a nightmare.
yeah.
But you just went in and just started grabbing cartons of smokes and stuff like that, or
I was just waiting for an Uber because I had to get home and my phone was like almost dead. And I was
holy
like,
shit.
"Oh, there are people going in the Walgreens behind me, like, all the glass was smashed, and they're just going in and
Hmm.
out." And I was like, "Oh, like, I need to get a pack of cigarettes." And I got, like, the whole like, all of them that I could find in there and put them in my backpack.
Damn.
It was,
And
like, a
then
lot. I didn't have to buy smokes for, like, months. I was probably 100 packs
that's
of
insane.
cigarettes.
It's so you're called Uber. You're like, yeah, can you come to the riot by the Walgreens?
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
like,
they were driving around. They
wow,
had yeah, it was and it was everywhere for days, and they were burning down people's houses, and it was really actually not to be a downer, but it was pretty devastating for a lot of people.
must be.
It sucked. It sucked,
So it wasn't
and
just
everyone was just,
stores.
like, super no. I mean, it's all row homes in Philadelphia. All the houses are connected.
So that'd be like townhouses, is what we call that here, I guess.
Yeah, they're all connected. So yeah, there are people's houses burning down, businesses burning down. I mean, anything burning down isn't good. My roommate's coworker lived downtown, and he's just a regular guy. He's a mover, and his apartment burned down. It was awesome.
And he's
So
fucked
dumb.
forever, right? A guy like that, blue collar guy, buys a little apartment. BLM burns it down. He's hooped.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
Okay, so what? So now to take a step back from like the whole dynamic, when you see like Canadians posting the black cube and talking about like OBLM and like promoting it and this kind of stuff, does it piss you off, or what do you think?
I just think it's a joke. I mean, I don't know. It's like, uh, I, I'm not really affected by it. It's just what you would expect out of people now. People are like, I gotta make sure people uh know that I'm a good person, so I'm gonna
Right.
put this up or whatever. I'm not well, why specifically Canadians?
Well, I guess I say that just because I see all these people promoting it up here, and it doesn't even make any sense up here. Like we
You guys
never
don't
had
really
them as
have
slaves, you
black
know.
people. Oh yeah, you guys
We
were like
do.
where's the slaves like went to go be free and stuff.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
they've
That's
kind of
pretty
hijacked it up here and made it about the natives, which I think is actually more relevant, just because it's like they don't have clean water right now and they're having all
But do
kinds of
they
issues.
still
But
talk about but it's Black Lives Matter, not natives.
yeah, but it's
What are
just
they doing?
it's
Doesn't
kind
make
of
any
weird.
sense.
They've just like well, but it's the
They're
same
not
thing where
black.
like yeah, but it's the same because it's all just like leftist dogma where like BLM marches with LGBT, where you would think that there's no reason that they would hang together, but it's because it's just dressed up communism as far as as far as I can tell. It's like if you take away all
Yes.
identity, all morality, and anything that is cohesive, then you can do whatever you want to people because if the society is demoralized and you do something immoral to them, why would they be upset? They don't have any morals in the first place. You know what I mean? Seems to be the
You gotta
case
line up
anyway.
these people and take them out. That's what I
With
say.
with words, metaphorically take them out with words.
Kill them. That's the answer.
Karen, we're
Kill
not
them.
on the radio, man. You got to be careful. You're gonna get me pulled. That's
From
nuts.
what? Facebook? Shut up.
YouTube. But yeah, you're right. Sorry. Okay, what about defending Target? Because you were a patriot and defended Target
Badass.
like a good
Yeah,
capitalist.
it was
Tell me about
badass.
that.
I mean, I wasn't there at nighttime because I was too scared, but I went the next day and it was just nice. It was like, people were driving by taking videos of us. That was like the worst that happened. That happened quite a few times.
Why is that
They're
bad?
like, "Oh, we're
Wouldn't you
we're
be
gonna
proud?
dox these people." Oh, yeah, no, and I was like, "Yeah, hot." Well, not really, I wasn't causing a scene, but, like, they would come by and be like,
Okay.
"McFace."
So what? They're
Same time. But it was awesome, like, all the businesses around there were, like, super grateful, and, like, Oogie's
Mhm.
Pizza is like a thing, it's like a chain in Philadelphia, and, like, the owners brought us pizza and,
Badass.
like, sodas, and people had their dogs there. It was just it was so refreshing, like, it was just really nice. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
scary or, like, angry at all. There were people who were, like, really messed up, though, kinda. Like, there was this one guy who came up and he was like, s I can't say the N word on your show, but it was just constant. He was
What,
like, "I
like a
hope
white
one
guy or
comes up,
what?
I'll beat him up." Yeah, white guy comes up in his voice
Oh,
like,
he's
"I
one of
hope one of
those.
those anti-vaxxers come over here. I'll beat his ass. I'll fucking lynch him." He
Was it
was, like,
ketamine Kevin?
super racist. But the thing about that is, like, that guy has, like 100% more black friends than like any of these white like Antifa people in like Portland and stuff. Because the city is so small and although everyone is so stacked up, like close to each other, that guy's got like a black neighbor and they like are like fine. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Well, that's the weird dynamic that I'm starting to see more and more of, where like the response, because somebody, if you talk like
I'm
you,
gonna take
or
trouble
like,
for this.
no, it's okay. But like if you talk like in old speak like you do and I do sometimes, people will go, "Oh, you're racist," and you kind of have two directions you can go. You can be the guy that goes, "No, I'm not. I mean, look at my black friend. I have one of those," or you can be the guy that goes, "Yeah, ask my black friend." Like that's kind of the two types. You know what I mean? Because there are people that just like don't care and they like to make fun of everybody, and then and they can take it as well. And then there are people that like actually kind of think they're superior, and so that they think that they and the government need to coddle all these minorities. You know what I mean? Like there's kind of the two
Yes.
different dynamics. Corona. I take your way mostly, I'd
Being
say.
racist is the way.
But not
Be
really,
racist.
right? Just being cool and not getting your feelings hurt all the time is the move. I don't know.
Right.
But that's why
Right.
that's why we need Jack's show, man. That's why the country needs Jack's show, because he's like brutal. He's an absolute savage, and so are you. But people are just so like
Yeah,
bum
well, he
hurt
looks like
all
a
the time.
caveman, so
Yeah, yeah, he does.
ha ha ha
Chelsea,
ha ha.
Chelsea in the chat says, really peaceful Sikh ceremony happening, and they were really kind and give us chai tea. So happy to see so many waking up. That's awesome.
Hi,
Love it.
Chelsea.
Hey,
White girl
Chelsea.
summer. What's up,
I can't believe you
Chelsea?
looted, Karen. I'm upset, man. I'm like so butthurt at you that you would
Yeah,
do that.
baby. It was epic. It was hilarious. I
But it
would do
is
it
history.
again 100 times.
Okay, but
Yeah.
did anybody get arrested? Like, because I don't know. We had riots in
I saw
Vancouver
people get
once.
arrested.
No, but after the fact, people like you that are on video.
Nah. What are they gonna
I,
arrest the whole city?
I guess, hey?
No, of course not.
I guess, yeah. You're right. It's
People
just
and
weird.
I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like the whole like you can't take videos of the protests because they're gonna track you. It's like, well, maybe people just didn't like maybe people didn't want actual videos coming out of the protests.
Right,
Like so people could see what was actually going on there.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
got
yeah.
from
I,
videos. Yeah, what are you gonna arrest the whole entire city? There was like a bajillion people there.
well, that was like the biggest cover-up operation I've ever seen in my life. I see watching CNN call them mostly peaceful. The one, That's all right. The one dude's like the one reporter standing in front of a burning cop car, and he goes, "Well, things are mostly peaceful around here. They're just looking for equality." There's like guys throwing Molotov cocktails behind him. I've never seen anything like that before. It was insane.
I'm trying to
That
burp
was a
mostly.
that was a dry one. Take another sip there, Karen.
Mostly peaceful. That's what I was trying to say. Mostly
Mostly.
peaceful.
Mostly peaceful.
Yeah, it was mostly peaceful.
All right. All right. So is the Capitol Hill. But so did you grow up in Philly, Karen? Where'd you grow up, man?
Yes. Home and raised. Born and
Like,
raised.
like Will
Born and raised.
Smith?
Yes.
Is he actually from
I
Philly
hate
or did he
that.
just write
I've
that?
never watched an episode of that stupid show. I hate
Good.
that show. And
It's
I hate the
programming.
song. It is. I agree. Just because I don't like it, though. He's annoying. I hate that guy. He is the worst. And
Well, yeah.
I hate that always comes up. I would rather somebody be like, "You like cheesesteaks?" Because you know what? I do, and everybody else does.
All right, man. All right. I won't bring up Will Smith anymore.
Don't
Noted.
mention his name.
Noted. Because I asked you if you'd come to Kelowna, and you're like, "No, it's way too slow up there." Like, what? Do you ever think about leaving and
Kelowna.
slowing down? You know what I mean? Kelowna.
In
Nice.
in Kelowna? No.
Or just anywhere else. Do you ever think about slow? Because like I don't know, you're
New
drinking all the
Jersey.
time. You're doing ketamine at underground bars.
I
Like
haven't done ketamine in months, and I'm drinking way less,
good.
and I'm smoking way less cigarettes, and I'm smoking less weed. So fuck you.
Hey, I'm glad to hear it. That makes me happy.
But yeah,
I worry about you,
I want to
Karen.
move to Delco, Delaware County, which is a suburb of Philadelphia. That's where I want to buy a house, and that's what I'm gonna do. I have it all
All right.
planned out. Mhm.
You gonna find a
Or
man?
New
Have some
Jersey.
have some little racist babies out there, or what?
Yes, that's my plan.
Nice, man. I
Eventually,
like
I
that.
am not dating currently. I'm not dating currently, but in the future, my Prince Charming will come, and that's
Nice.
inevitable. And that's inevitable.
Well, you're a real catch, Karen. You're a real catch. I'm banking
Yeah,
on you and Jack. I'm banking on you and Jack getting married. Hopefully, he just like can shave his beard and hit the gym, and you guys can get married. You know.
that's all it takes. That's all it takes, fellas.
He's handsome.
Just
He's a
shave your
handsome
beard,
guy.
go to the gym. Yeah, he's a real handsome guy.
He's just got to shave that beard, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, Mitch. I think I wouldn't bet on that. I think you Brand says
You,
moving to
Brad.
Texas. I got a seat for you on the back of my bike. You know, I was actually just gonna say I think you Brand is probably a better bet than Jack Klassen. What's up, you Brand? Calls me his future ex-wife. That's my nickname.
Classic. That is so
Yeah,
classic.
classic you Brand.
Regan's in here. He's talking some shit going on right now. um, I don't know what
Yes.
is gonna happen with Jack's show, Karen. I don't know. Like, is he serious? Because he always says like, "Oh, we're gonna get kicked off the radio," and then like he finds another station. Like, what's going on? Like, are there stations out there that want us? You think?
Yes. Because we have the best radio talk show of all time and we're too hot for radio. People Manson said that people don't want in your face talk radio anymore, but he said to keep going because we're fighting the good fight. And you know what? I agree with him. I
I do
agree with
too.
him, man. Radio can never die, dude. There will always be people going to work who need to listen to the radio. And you know what? Everything's so boring now, and the fact that radio can be like uncensored enough for us to be on two radio stations,
Mm-hmm.
on two radio stations, like that's the internet doesn't do us any good. We get banned off everything all the time.
Yeah.
But we have freedom on the radio. baby. I'm
Baby,
preaching. I'm serious about this
let it
stuff,
out,
man.
Karen. Let it out, man.
That's what it is.
I
And
think I
they're gonna want us. They're gonna need us
Well, because
eventually.
we're not
Hopefully.
afraid that we're a lot of things, us three, but we're not afraid, and that's compelling because everybody's afraid. Everybody else is afraid.
I'm
But
not afraid.
Corona, and
Take
there's
a
like
stand.
there is some weird sweet spot with radio. There really is. I think you're right because there's it's a lot harder to censor when it's just constant
Revolution.
nonstop. Yeah, and I don't know. It's like the algorithms. I think they have a harder time with like audible bad words as opposed to written ones. Because that's why I always keep my descriptions short when I'm posting stuff. But it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun, and it's I don't know. It's a special thing what we got going on. I hope it blows up. Like I remember when I first
Even
started
if
my
it doesn't, it
show.
doesn't matter, man. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
absolutely.
As long as our show exists, that's the coolest thing ever. Just for the
Well,
show to
yeah,
exist and be on the radio, like that's badass in itself.
it really is. It really, really is. Like I remember before I met you, Jack was like putting up some of my shows, and this was like in the early days of the Red Pill Rapper show, and we got an email from Montana, and this woman was like, "I don't think you should have Red Pill Rapper on. His views are his views on masks are dangerous, and I
Oh
don't
my
think
god.
that his voice should be out there." And I was like, cool, man. That is so cool. Some lady was driving to
You're a true
work.
thought criminal, Mitch.
Yeah, she like turned on an FM station and was so offended that she like went home and wrote an email to a radio station. Like, that's badass, man. I really I obviously got in her head and made her think, and that's so cool. Somebody in Montana.
Well, it's just awesome that like anybody like turns on the radio and it's like a bunch of idiots talking about like rating like people's poop and stuff and like just
Hmm.
being insane. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Like I always imagine like if I had never heard of this show and I was just flipping through the radio and I came across that show, I would lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
I would be like, "Holy shit, this is
What
awesome."
is this?
I know.
The best description I ever heard is
That's what it
that
is.
when Jack told me about that email he got saying that the guards at the Mexican containment camps on the U.S. Mexico border play it really loud throughout the detention center. That is like
Yes.
the perfect description of our show. Like I didn't know there was a perfect demographic, but that's it. It's like
Yikes! Don't say that, Mitch. That's a little hot for radio, Mitch. The
why?
perfect demographic.
What? Prison guards? What's wrong with that? Prison guards would like it. They're edgy.
Prison guards.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, but I don't know. Let's stick with truckers, man. God bless the
Yeah, you're
truckers.
right. You're right.
God bless the truckers.
God bless the
And
truckers.
gotta wrap it up soon because I have to stream because I have a special guest on my show.
Ooh, we've got Hot Wife Music with Karen1776 on the D Live coming up next, everybody.
Next, I just gotta take a whiz and then I'll be
Oh,
back like,
Kentucky
immediately.
boy. This is my favorite commenter on the D Live. I love this guy, man.
Hi, hello, sexy peeps from
This-
Kentucky Boy 88. We're signing off, Kentucky Boy 88, but I want you to do me a favor and tune in to Hot Wife Music with Karen1776 on the D Live. Is he on the D Live?
yeah, he's there right now.
He's
So
a
don't
D
go
Live
anywhere,
listener.
Kentucky boy.
So yeah, hey, Kentucky Boy 88. I'm giving you a special invitation to my show, Hot Wife Music, with me, Karen1776. Just wait for me to take a whiz. Okay, good night.
Don't go away, Kentucky.
Don't
Come
go
on,
away,
man.
Kentucky Boy 88. Dude, stop. You have to stay.
He better not
Stop
leave.
it.
Karen,
All right,
thanks
well,
for
I hope he does.
thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. And I'm just
Yeah, this was so hilarious.
yeah, it was. I'm disappointed
Oh
that you
my god.
looted, but I'm glad you told me about it. I am glad that you told me about it.
Don't be a queer. Don't be a queer.
All right, man. Well, you take
Badass.
care. I'll and we
Right.
got the Jack Klassen birthday show tonight too. What time are we on?
Yeah.
Midnight on D Live?
Happy birthday to midnight for Canadians and 3 a.m. for East Coast people because we're in Canada and Philadelphia. Oh, Kentucky boy farted.
Oh no.
Stick around, buddy. I
All
love
right.
ya.
We love you people. Check out what is it on D Live? It's just the Jack Klassen show, right?
The Jack Klassen show. Or is it Jack
Everybody's
Klassen show? Let me see.
good night, Sasha.
It's
But yeah,
just Jack Klassen show. DLive TV/Jack Klassen show.
Cool. All right, everybody, hop over there if you want to check out Karen's show, Hot Wife Music with Karen1776. God bless you, people. We love you.